Good morning, everyone. This is PV Kishore Kumar from Ramchandra College of Engineering, Elur, West Godavari, Andhra Pradesh, India. And today we are discussing subject programming for problem solving using C. I am from Department of Computer Science and Engineering. We are going to discuss topic name is functions. Particularly in C programming language, this functions topic is prominently used. The reason functions, whichever it plays an important role. So that's the reason the functions topic is very important. So we are going to discuss what exactly functions. Why we are functions which we are using behind the topic is modular programming. What is this modular programming? Breaking a complex program into smaller parts. That is, whenever we are performing a program, a lengthy program, and we are writing in a separate small programs or smaller parts, it will be very simpler and understandable parts. These parts of program that we are calling as a one module means whatever we are breaking into pieces, which is will be simpler and understandable parts. These parts of a program we are calling as a modules. The process of subdividing a problem into parts is called modular programming. So here in C programming language, the idea of modular programming is implemented this functions topic. So here the concept which we are covered in this topic is what is a function, function types, and basic function designs and parameter passing methods. So clearly I'm saying that today we are going to discuss functions topic. So first of all, in this session objectives, the student can learn, we are going to explaining the user defined function exactly, and what are the types of functions, and what are the categories of function, that means basic function designs. And we will see that it's a declaration part as well as prototypes of each function. And last we'll see the calling the function, that means parameter passing methods. So first of all, we should know the definition of functions. A function definition is a function is a self-contained block or a subprogram or a module which contains a group of statements that performs a particular task, whatever needed, what are the required tasks, whenever it called, it will performs it. So simply saying that a function is a self-contained block which contains a group of statements that performs a required task when it is called. I already told that in C, the idea of the in C programming, the idea of the module program is implemented using this functions topic. That means in C programming, it is made of one or more functions, or one and only one of which must be named as a main function. The execution, and also we know that the execution of the program always starts with the main function, but it can call also other function for performing a specific task. So clearly saying that function is a independent module that will be called to do a specific purpose, specific task. That means here a called function receives control from the calling function, that is main function. And here, whichever we are seeing on the screen, the main advantage of this function is it can a big program breaking into small pieces. That means a problem can be divided into understandable and manageable steps. Function provides a reuse of this code, and it will be function data can be protected. Using this function, a large programs can be reduced into a smaller ones, and it is very easy to find errors. That is, so here on the screen, it's showing that if C functions can be classified into two categories. One is user defined function, another one is built-in functions. So you see here in the screen, we can also call this built-in function as a library or predefined functions. Another one is user defined functions. That is, most probably we are going to discuss very deeply in this topic, user defined function. As I told, that a series of instructions that are to be executed more than once. And predefined function, that is, earlier we are seen that what is printf function, why we are using for the printf function as a output function, and what is the scanf function, input function, which we are using for writing the C program that we are seeing in predefined function, that is library function or built-in function. And also we have, particularly when we are discussing strings concept, a get character means get C and put C also we are discussed. Those are the comes under the functions topic only, but those are all built-in functions. So come to here, user defined function. These are the function which are defined by our user. These are the function which are defined by the user. That means a set of instruction that should be executed whenever it is required, it will be called for specific task. So coming to the user defined section, user defined functions, first of all, why? Because a standard library function, which we have the library function, built-in functions we earlier we have seen. So coming to the user defined function, these are the function, as I told, that defined by the user. To use a function in C, it must be both declared and defined. So here a function name is using in C programming thrice: function declaration, in function call, that is calling the function, call the function, and function definition. On the screen, which you are seeing the prototype for the function definition, it consists of function header and the body. It will consist the header of the function as well as body of the function. And I told that in function call, this is the prototype for that, which we will see in depth by using this programming as taking example. As I told, a function name is used 3 times in C programming language. On the screen, if you observe that the statement which you are seeing here above the main function, void return, that is return data type is void, and hi is our function name, and without passing any parameters, means open parenthesis and close parenthesis followed by semicolon, that is declared above the main function. Means for function declaration, a function declaration tells the compiler about the function name, return type, and its parameters. Already we are seen on the screen, return type is void, function name is a hi, and there is no arguments passing. Right? So here, if you observe below the main function part, we are call the function, means that is in the call, that is in a function call, that is call any function from the main. So that's the reason we are also calling this main function as a calling function. And the main important part, that is below the main function, you are seeing that function definition. Here, if for function definition, provides the actual body of the function. Again, telling that function declaration is tells the compiler about the function name, return type, and the parameters. In function call, it will just call any function from the main function. And this is a versional function definition, and we are calling also called function, that is called by someone calling function. So function definition provides the actual body of the function. So if you see, observe, this is the example for writing in C programming language using function. Again, I'm telling that in C programming language, if you are using the functions, that means a function will be used thrice in a name. Function declaration, in function call, that is calling the function, and function definition. This is the example. If you observe, while the compiler will executing from the main function, that is our operating system tells the compiler to execute this program from the main function, it will print, after executing, it will print first statement is welcome to RCE, and second one topic is functions and greetings to all, and last it will print the last statement as a bye. So this is the while we are going to execute in any C IDE platform, okay, or any C Turbo C or Putty software or any other online compiler. If you execute this program, it will be prints the result as a welcome to RCE, topic is functions, greeting to all, and then last bye. That means whenever the called function is over, it will returns to the main function. And next topic is basic function designs. So here, what are the function designs based upon the return values and the passing arguments? This was divided into 4 types. This was divided into 4 types. That means while we are going to discuss, we are using some parameters called actual parameters and formal parameters. In upcoming the exams which I will show, we will going to discuss what are the actual parameters and formal parameters. And here, this basic function designs, which are user defined function, based upon the, again I'm telling that based upon the return values and their its arguments. These are divided into 4 types: a function with no arguments and no return values, a function with no arguments and return values, a function with arguments and no return values, a function with the arguments as well as with return values. If you clearly observe that these are the 4 function designs which we are using in functions in C programming language. Let us discuss each one and one with example. For performing, taking one example, that is very easy. Addition of 2 numbers, performing this program using basic function designs. One and each and every basic function design we are going to discuss. In this example, if you observe clearly, we are declaring as a return type as a void, function name is add, and we are not passing any argument. We are not passing any argument. And while we are asking for the to execute add function, the compiler will be tells that it will be calling for the called function to execute this. Here, no argument means if you observe clearly, there is no part of arguments within the parenthesis. So that is you clearly observe the entire thing. The function definition will be performing by taking 2 numbers, 2 variables to add and giving the C variable. Got it? So this is one function basic design. And second one is with argument, but no return values. No return values means here the no return value is void. As I told that void is a returns nothing. Void is a 0. Void nothing. So it doesn't returns any value. And add is a function name, and we are passing clearly see observe with return 2 integer data variables. So variables are 2 integer variables. That is here, if you clearly observe, these are the actual parameters. That is actual parameters means actual parameters are taken in the main function. But here, if you observe in the function definition, A and B, these are the formal parameters. As I already mentioned in the comments, actual parameters and formal parameters. Actual parameters are which are declared in the main function. Formal parameters are declared in the defining the function definition. So this is with the argument and no return values. And while we are going to discuss the next with return values means we are using the return statement that it will be using to return from a called function. That means it will be cause the execution to return the point where it will which call to the function was made. So that's the reason we have the return statement that is we are using for the next function basic designs. You can clearly observe here. Right. Third one is with argument. I mean, without argument, we are not passing any arguments like integer variables. And with return values, if you clearly observe, the return data type is integer. See here, the returned data type is integer. So if you observe clearly in the function definition also, we are using the return statement. So whenever it will be finishes its task, it will be returns to the main function again. It will returns to the main function again. If it is calling the function also, it is called function n number of times that we are calling as a recursion function. That is a different topic, but we will be upcoming classes videos, we will be showing this what is recursion function, where we are using recursion function, what is without recursion function in functions topics only. But here without arguments we are passing return value with the return values without passing arguments. And the last function basic design, that is with argument and with return values. Argument or parameter both are same. So here we are passing the arguments, that is with arguments. A function with argument means integer variables are two we are taking and we are passing the functions. So here we are using A and B as actual parameters, the locations which we are saying the actual parameters, and X and Y are used in function definition. So like this way, we are designing these 4 types of in functions in C programming language. And very, very important, and the third topic is which is parameter passing methods. Parameter passing methods very it's like inner communication. So inner intercommunication between the functions, where calling function to called function to the calling function. So it is based upon the passing the parameters. It was divided into like call by value and call by reference. Call by value and call by reference. We can clearly see that examples in this by taking the what is call by value, why we are using this call by value and call by reference clearly with some scope of rules. Why? Because there are 2 types of scope of rules. Scope is nothing but visibility of a variable, and which the region which